It's only entertainment.
Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. My guest right now is Scott Kenyon. He is with Wurk. Scott, thanks for being on the Talking Hedge.
Of course.
What is Wurk? What's your role?
So Wurk is the largest payroll and HCM provider for cannabis. HCM is human capital management, and my role is the CEO.
Okay. So when people initially hear about the cannabis industry, there's a lot of interest, and yet we see a lot of turnover. Where's the discrepancy involved at? Is it kind of this thing where people think that it's going to be fun and then they realize it's more of a retail job? Where's that dichotomy set?
Yeah, I think everybody has their own individual view of what cannabis is going to be like when you step into this industry. And I think a lot of people have artificial views or ideas of what it is. It's just like any other consumer product group industry that it is. There's some really tough jobs, there's some really fun jobs, but it's not going to be any different than working for any other brand.
Where are you seeing the most demand coming out? You guys are based in Colorado,
Yes,
right?
correct.
And so that's one of the early states, along with Washington. But where are you seeing is there like a new demand coming out of, Maryland or Florida or whatever? Like, where are you seeing kind of this new demand?
Yeah, with our existing and even new customers, they're primarily coming from New Jersey. Massachusetts is adding quite a few folks. Florida is adding a ton of folks. The legacy markets are pretty much stabilized from an employee count. But yeah, the newly adopted states are definitely in the growth area.
But I'm imagining it's not just bud tenders that you're hiring.
No.
I've always liked to point out the flaws of some of the Canadian producers. Brandon Kennedy of Tilray is the one I love throwing under the bus because he said that I didn't come from cannabis, and we're proud of that, and then now he is irrelevant. Soccer moms are finding alternative products. They merge with Hexo as two drunk people holding each other up, and he had a massive flaw in his theory. So are you seeing more people demanding some of that C-suite as a result of the experience and going away from what Brandon Kennedy said, oh, we're just these executives and we don't need to know about cannabis?
Yeah, we're seeing a blend of all different types of roles. I'd say one of the faster growing areas is just digital marketing, just the whole digital transformation. Companies now are starting to realize, hey, we're not only going to have to operate in our brick and mortar, but we also have to have a great digital strategy. So those are some new roles that weren't here, say, 18 months ago.
And do you help with the compliance and regulatory aspects? My sister's been in HR her whole life, and the onboarding is, it can lead to a lot of issues that people are not aware of. An at-will employment state like Washington is one thing, but there's a lot of contractual obligations in other states, and so if you are an MSO, you're going to have to know what those differences are. And so how do you kind of help your clients prepare for those nuances?
It's a great question. Our platform is set up for success for our customers that have multi-state operations, or even just individually. Hey, I just got a license, I've never been a business operator, I'm in California. There's some really stringent laws around overtime, around what days they're working overtime. So our platform simplifies that for you. You don't have to be a law expert. It just you fill in the hours and it'll tell you exactly what you have to pay.
Okay. All right.
So yes, we do deal in compliance.
What else are you kind of focusing on right now? Is the business kind of adapting or shifting as time moves on? Or are you still just really kind of focused on that hiring phase, or where do you see Wurk moving towards?
Our goal this year was to be stewards for the industry, and no idea in January that we would be facing the headwinds we're facing today with what our customers are facing. So we're having customers, for the first time go through M&A and actually reduce headcount because of that. Before, M&A would be everybody gets to stay because we can't hire enough people. Now it is, how do we go through that process? How do we share our best practices with both companies as they come together and start to make that next new company?
Unpack that a little bit for me. What's the cause behind that shift?
Yeah, I think it's the maturation of this market or this industry. most M&A deals, there's going to be duplicative. Let's say you don't need 2 CFOs, right? But in the past, they would reallocate that one of those CFOs to another need, a new project, where now they are really trying to streamline the business, drive more gross margins, so they can reinvest that into future M&A. Again, a lot of behaviors have changed since the capital markets have dried up for cannabis.
I mean, we just saw Amazon announce 10,000 layoffs, the largest in company history. Twitter's going to lay off by 99% of its people. It's not funny. And we're seeing that a lot in tech, and that's because of the we're in a recession. It's been more than 2 negative quarters. I don't really care
what definition
Nancy Pelosi wants to say, but we are in a recession. And are we hitting a wall, even though cannabis is a sin stock and is supposed to be defensive in nature? Is it just a matter of the over-hiring that happened, and then COVID kind of put this wall up and said, yeah, without those stimulus checks, we're not going to grow as fast as that time frame that we had over the last couple of years? And so is it just the last couple of years, or is it just the whole time, and now that the economy is stopped that we have to make that transition?
Yeah, it depends by state, and we saw, the small business customers are the canary in the coal mine. So last October, November, our small business customers started to right size. And then you go back to it's by state. So we have the legacy states that are having some trouble with oversupply. Colorado is one of those. Nevada is another one. Massachusetts, Michigan. So when there's oversupply, price of flower drops. It's harder to make money. Well, the MSOs can spread that across New Jersey opening up, or more and more licenses being issued in Illinois. But the Josh and Scott dispensary can't just go ahead and pick up their company and move to one of those states. So they're having to deal with it in that oversupply situation. When that happens, they can't make as much money as they're selling it. They can't pay or afford as many employees. So it's more about the cycle of where that state is as anything. We're seeing great growth, as I said earlier, in these newly adult use approved states. But in the legacy states where there is a ton of oversupply, it's quite a challenge.
Mm-hmm. What is your goal at MJ BizCon? Are you here to hang out, have a good time, get some sun, or is there some takeaways from a personal and or corporate level? Why are you here, and what's your goal?
Great question. I'm here to meet as many customers as possible. There's so many customers out here, current, potential, and even customers we don't even know about. So that's my main goal. If you look at my calendar, that is from 9 a.m. till late wee hours of the morning of meeting customers.
Mm-hmm. And is this your first time? It's the 11th year. Have you been out here before?
Yeah, this is my 3rd time.
Okay. And has it been repetitive or different in nature?
No, every year is different. Last year was very different coming out of COVID. I was at MJ, I think it was 3 years before that, 3 or 4 years before that. So I'm excited to see how it is this year. But like as any big conference, it's about having a plan and driving after that plan and sticking to it. You get distracted in these big conferences, you'll end up not doing anything. But back to your original question, no, I will not come back with a tan.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, if people want to know more about Wurk and what you guys are doing, where's a good spot where they can find out more information?
Yeah, come out to our website, www.enjoywurk.com.
Okay, appreciate it. I think with that, we're going to have to roll this one up. I want to thank my guest, Scott Kenyon. He is with Wurk. I am Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.